You know, we've been led to believe that making money is a grind, a race where only the fastest prevail. Most people hustle day and night, thinking their worth is tied to their labor. But here's what many don't realize. Money is energy, and like any energy, it flows where it's welcomed, not forced. In nature, the river runs free and clear, not because it struggles upstream, but because it embodies its purpose effortlessly. This is why countless spiritually awakened individuals attract abundance without all that arduous effort, creating a dance with the universe rather than a wrestle. Imagine our protagonist, Sarah. She wakes each day before dawn, drowning in the weight of her responsibilities. The sound of her alarm clock is like a heavy weight she has to lift, a reminder of what lies ahead. Every day feels like a relentless effort to keep her head above water. She works 2 jobs, but still feels like she's running on a treadmill that never stops. The bills pile up, and exhaustion becomes her constant companion. To her, success means working harder, pushing more, and sacrificing everything for the elusive promise of prosperity. The grind surrounds her, echoing in the chatter of her colleagues and friends. They all share the same mantra: you've got to hustle if you want to make it. The world tells her that financial freedom is earned through sweat and struggle. Yet as Sarah goes through her routine, she glimpses others around her. There's Rachel, a friend from college who seems to float through life, her business flourishing as if it's blessed by some unseen hand. She travels, explores, and shares stories of her adventures without a worry in the world. Sarah can't help but feel a twinge of jealousy, the familiar knot of inadequacy tightening in her stomach. What's her secret? She wonders. How does Rachel attract all this abundance while she feels like she's chained to her to-do list, drowning in relentless tasks with seemingly no end in sight? As the weeks stretch on, Sarah finds herself increasingly fatigued. She works harder, thinking the grind will pay off, yet those moments of envy eat at her. It's a cycle of stress that spirals deeper into frustration. She scrolls through social media, seeing friends boldly declaring their successes, their smiles dazzling against backgrounds of tropical beaches and city skylines. There's an unshakable feeling that they must be doing something fundamentally different. What does Rachel know that she doesn't? What is the invisible thread connecting her to abundance that Sarah feels she's missing entirely? Then, on a particularly stressful day, Sarah bumps into an old acquaintance, Lisa, who radiates a calm energy that draws Sarah in. Lisa has always been different. She's an artist who embodies a flow that Sarah can't quite grasp. During their conversation, Lisa mentions a recent shift in her life where she began to focus on gratitude. The moment she mentioned the word, something flickered within Sarah. Gratitude? The concept felt almost alien. She had been so entrenched in her struggles that the simple act of acknowledging what she had, rather than what she lacked, seemed like a distant dream. I used to worry constantly about money, Lisa shared, her eyes sparkling with authenticity, but then I realized I was putting so much energy into fear, and that fear just invited more lack into my life. Lisa explained how she began each day writing down things she was grateful for, however small. I didn't just focus on the big wins, she said, but also on the little joys. Sarah felt her heart race. Was it really that simple? Did the universe really mirror your vibrational frequency? If the universe was abundant, was her mindset the barrier keeping her from experiencing that abundance? The notion of gratitude had always felt cliché, yet now it resonated in a profound way. What if, just what if, everything she believed about gaining wealth could be turned upside down? Suddenly, a flicker of hope illuminated within her, a tiny flame that whispered possibilities. Perhaps wealth wasn't the fight she had been told, but a flow she had yet to discover. Despite her skepticism, she felt the urge to explore this idea. She could almost hear the river singing, beckoning her to shed the struggle and step into the flow. But first, she had to confront the exhaustion that had become her norm. Could she genuinely embrace the possibility of abundance? Would transforming her mindset also transform her life? Those questions hung in the air, like a gentle challenge, a beckoning call she couldn't ignore. It was the first crack in her armor, a revelation that maybe there was another way. A seed of curiosity planted, she wondered if she could cultivate it into something magnificent. Because if money truly was energy, could she learn to attract it like Rachel? What if, instead of drowning in the grind, she could dance in the flow? As the day came to an end, Sarah felt a faint stir of determination, realizing that perhaps the relentless pursuit of wealth was an illusion, masked by the brilliance of simplicity and abundance waiting just beyond her fears. And with that flicker of hope, she began to contemplate a shift. What if she could join Lisa? What if she could transform that chaotic rat race into something harmonious? This was just the beginning, but a new journey was calling her forth, a journey that would challenge everything she thought she knew about abundance and wealth. Now here's where it gets really interesting. As Sarah ventured deeper into her reflections, she couldn't shake that conversation with Lisa. It lingered, reminding her that there was another narrative she could embrace, a narrative of abundance instead of struggle. Yet, vulnerability crept in, whispering doubts into her mind. Can I really pivot this late in the game? She pondered, as the weight of financial worries loomed over her, the grind tugging at her like a familiar anchor. But she knew this was the moment to breathe. Maybe transformation didn't require a grand leap, just small steps. So that Saturday morning, she sat with her cup of coffee, its warmth soothing her soul. She asked herself, what am I grateful for? The question felt daunting at first, as if a chasm lay before her, waiting for her to leap. Yet, she pressed on, persistence blooming within her. She began jotting down her blessings on a scrap of paper, the sunlight filtering through her kitchen window, the laughter of a friend, the comforting warmth of her favorite sweater. With each word, the heaviness in her chest began to dissipate. The world, once painted in dull shades of scarcity, began to glow with vibrancy as she embraced each moment. In the following days, Sarah committed to growing her gratitude practice. She made it a ritual to reflect on her day before bed, finding beauty in the ordinary. The more she engaged with gratitude, the more she opened her eyes to the miracles she had been overlooking. Each entry in her journal became an empowering affirmation of potential, like seeds planted in rich soil. Yet just as hope began to blossom, self-doubt threatened to overshadow her progress. The bills were still due, looming like ominous clouds. What if this is just fool's gold? Her inner critic hissed. Am I simply wasting time when reality hasn't changed? In that moment of uncertainty, Sarah recalled the stories she had once heard about spiritually awakened individuals. Their journeys often began with internal shifts preceding external transformations. Inspiration sparked within her. If she began to resonate with abundance, would that in turn attract opportunities? What would it look like to meet the universe halfway? One evening, as she reflected in her gratitude journal, Sarah overheard a conversation at a nearby table. Two friends discussed a woman named Emma, known for her effortless abundance. Curiosity piqued. She leaned in, heart racing as she absorbed Emma's story. After I lost everything, I realized it wasn't about what I lost. It was about what I could create moving forward, Emma explained. The moment she let go of her fears and embraced possibilities, everything changed. It was a revelation for Sarah. The concept of abundance blossomed in her mind, and she felt the energy shifting around her. Following her intuition, Sarah approached Emma after the conversation ended. What began as casual small talk quickly turned into deep, heartfelt interaction. How did you change your mindset? Sarah asked, eager for insight. Emma smiled knowingly. Gratitude became my anchor. When I focused on the abundance around me instead of the lack, everything shifted. It's not about chasing wealth, the flow comes naturally when you embrace it. As Emma spoke, it was as if the universe was affirming the path Sarah was meant to take. The realization washed over Sarah, a lightning bolt of clarity. She needed to change her approach completely. The resistance she felt was merely a sign that she was in transition, moving from a scarcity mindset to one bursting with possibility. As she absorbed Emma's wisdom, Sarah committed to welcoming abundance with open arms. The next day, Sarah ramped up her gratitude practice, journaling daily with renewed vigor. Each entry was a declaration, affirming the beauty of her existence. And with every word, she felt her energy shift. She began noticing synchronicities, small acts of kindness, unexpected compliments, hints of opportunities woven into her life. Each positive moment confirmed the presence of abundance, like breadcrumbs leading her along a magnificent path. But as new light began to shine in her life, old fears clawed their way back in, reminders of her previous struggles. The push and pull of her habitual thinking often threatened to pull her back into the depths of doubt. Now and then, Sarah had to remind herself that shifting her perspective didn't mean her financial reality would transform overnight. However, what mattered was her newfound commitment to gratitude and abundance. Facing these mental struggles head-on, she realized that keeping her focus on growth was key. She visualized opportunities presenting themselves naturally instead of chasing after them desperately. I can nurture my wealth like a garden, she told herself. All I need to do is plant the seeds of gratitude. As she continued on this path, she began to feel a palpable shift, a sense of empowerment blossoming deep within. Energy flowed through her more effortlessly, like a river carving its way gracefully over stones. Sarah knew she was unlocking a deeper, richer version of herself, one that embraced abundance with every breath. In those quiet moments of reflection, Sarah felt exhilarated by the possibilities waiting to unfold. She had taken her first steps toward a new narrative, allowing gratitude to guide her toward a flow of life she had always longed for. The seed of transformation had taken root, and it was only the beginning of a magnificent journey where abundance danced around her like the soft breeze through the trees, gentle, inviting, and full of promise. You know, once you truly begin to embrace the possibility of abundance, everything changes. For Sarah, the moment she committed to gratitude as a daily practice marked a profound turning point in her life. It shifts from simply reciting things she was thankful for to experiencing gratitude in her core. It's about allowing it to shape her reality. She was beginning to realize that true abundance isn't merely a destination, it's a mindset, a fertile ground from which possibilities emerge. As she continued her gratitude practice, Sarah visualized abundance in a whole new light. Rather than striving endlessly for every opportunity, she started embodying the energy of abundance itself. Imagine standing at a garden gate, witnessing vibrant life waiting to blossom on the other side. It was an exciting concept. She could stop pushing so hard and instead invite opportunities into her life. She remembered Emma's words clearly. Abundance comes when you stop pushing and start inviting. The weight of that statement resonated deeply within her, encouraging her to let go of the fears surrounding money and success. Instead of viewing her aspirations as fleeting dreams, she chose to acknowledge them as attainable realities. The following week, while spending time at her favorite park, Sarah opened her gratitude journal and began jotting down her thoughts. To her surprise, a stranger sat next to her and they struck up a conversation. This individual turned out to be a well-connected professional in her industry, someone who could aid her in opening new doors. This unexpected encounter felt magical, reinforcing her belief that manifesting opportunities was not just possible but already unfolding around her. Seeing opportunities as organic connections rather than desperate pursuits shifted everything for Sarah. With every new exchange, she saw herself no longer as a passive recipient, but as an active participant in an intricate dance of possibilities. She learned that when one focuses on growth and abundance, they begin to attract it into their life like a magnet. However, the fear of scarcity still lurked at the edges, trying to pull her back into old patterns. What if this doesn't last? Her inner voice cautioned. What if all this is just an illusion? But Sarah had grown adept at recognizing the inner critic without allowing it to derail her progress. When doubts surfaced, she reminded herself that feeling fear doesn't make her weak. Just because I have these thoughts doesn't mean I need to act on them, she reassured herself. This empowering realization allowed her to transform her fears into opportunities for growth rather than obstacles to overcome. It became increasingly clear to Sarah that integrating her lessons into actionable steps was essential. She started dedicating time each week to explore her passions, whether painting, writing, or simply being in nature. These activities nurtured her spirit, allowing her to flourish instead of remaining confined by previous limitations. As she continued to follow this path, Sarah sensed a palpable shift in herself, a budding empowerment that flowed effortlessly through her, reminiscent of a river harmoniously carving its way over smooth stones. Her confidence blossomed, and she felt as though she was unveiling a richer version of herself, one that welcomed abundance wholeheartedly. With her awareness heightened, Sarah enthusiastically engaged with those around her, sharing her journey and the importance of gratitude. Each story she revealed of her ups and downs further connected her with others, inspiring them to reflect on their own possibilities. And you know what? The more she opened up, the more those around her seemed to awaken to their potential, creating a ripple effect of empowerment. Sarah began hosting small gatherings, inviting friends to share their experiences and cultivate gratitude together. These sessions became spaces of growth and connection, opportunities for others to explore their own narratives surrounding abundance. She marveled at the tapestry they wove together, where individual dreams intertwined into a collective vision. One day, during a gathering, Sarah noticed a shift in energy. People who attended began sharing insights as well as struggles. They realized that they were not alone in their journeys. Emotions flowed freely as they encouraged each other. This harmonious exchange reinforced Sarah's belief that abundance wasn't just a personal endeavor, it was about co-creating with others. Yet, with this newfound vibrational energy, came the awareness of setting boundaries. She learned to protect her inner space, while still extending love to those who needed it. Engaging meaningfully with people who resonated with her vision became essential. In embracing this balance, Sarah found her true power. She understood the need for her focus to remain on those who aligned with her path. It became clear that her voice mattered, and by cultivating connections rooted in mutual support, she could nourish not only herself, but also those around her. As she integrated these lessons, Sarah embraced the cosmic dance of life, where every exchange became a chance to flourish and create together. With gratitude as her guide, she transformed her journey into an uplifting adventure, one that celebrated connections, creativity, and the beauty of shared experiences. Now fully aware of life's boundless potential, Sarah became a beacon of light, embodying the essence of self-care, authenticity, and alignment. Just like that flowing river, she learned to navigate challenges with grace, knowing abundance awaited her to tap into it. Standing at the beginning of this magnificent journey filled with possibilities, Sarah felt invigorated by what lay ahead. The world shimmered with potential as she prepared to explore a future rich with abundance, embodying the very essence of the flow of life. You know, as Sarah stood at this significant moment in her life, a deep realization enveloped her, a synthesis of everything she had encountered. All those months of embracing gratitude had not merely changed her outlook, they had transformed her being. It felt as though she had peeled back layers of doubt and fear, revealing a vibrant world brimming with opportunities. In this newfound clarity, Sarah understood that life wasn't just about chasing after abundance. It was also about embracing the journey itself. What does this all mean? She reflected, contemplating her evolution. She realized that true success wasn't solely defined by material wealth, but by the richness of relationships, personal growth, and community, elements that invigorated her spirit. Amid this journey, Sarah recognized her capacity to grant herself permission to pursue her dreams fearlessly. "I am allowed to chase what inspires me," she affirmed, shedding the suffocating weight of societal expectations. She embraced her authenticity without reservation. But as she shifted her focus inward, she felt called to extend this abundance outward as well. Sarah wanted to empower others, inviting them to awaken to their potentials. It became essential for her to weave a community where everyone understood that abundance flows most beautifully when individuals uplift and support one another. With this intention in mind, Sarah organized a vision board workshop, providing her friends and community with a chance to explore their dreams together. As participants poured their aspirations onto the boards, the energy in the room lifted. Creativity blossomed as they visualized their intentions. This gathering was magical, a manifestation of collective dreaming. Each board became a reflection of their hearts, adorned with images and words embodying hope and empowerment. It was proof that when people unite with a shared purpose, they can create extraordinary outcomes. As Sarah moved through the workshop, she felt the magic unfold. Laughter and vulnerability emerged as they connected over their dreams and fears. They shared insights and created a sacred space where everyone felt heard. In this moment, abundance transcended the individual, becoming something greater, a shared experience of growth and inspiration. You see, vulnerability breeds connection, and Sarah realized that authenticity thrived in community. A participant who had long suppressed her passion for painting was inspired to take it up again. Another discovered the courage to pursue her dream of starting a business. Watching this unfold reaffirmed Sarah's belief that by nurturing others, she was nurturing her own growth. Encouraged by these transformations, Sarah recognized that her role was evolving. She had become a catalyst, someone who inspired others to embrace their journeys. This realization filled her with purpose. She envisioned a series of gatherings focused on creativity, mindfulness, and personal development, spaces that fostered connection while allowing each individual to bloom. Yet, this increased vibrational energy also illuminated the necessity of setting boundaries. Sarah learned the importance of protecting her inner space while still extending love and support to others. Engaging in meaningful connections became paramount as she honored her own needs as well. With clarity, she embraced the dance of life, where every exchange became an opportunity to flourish together. Each person brought a unique contribution, amplifying the energy in the room. Sarah felt the joy of collaboration, discovering that abundance multiplies when shared. As Sarah reflected on her journey, she recognized the gift that arose from the process, the understanding that every small act of support created ripples beyond their immediate circle. By uplifting one another, they restored and enriched their lives. So, as Sarah prepared for the next chapter, she was invigorated by this revelation. The journey of abundance transcended personal fulfillment. It was a collective movement toward empowerment and joy. "Let's honor our paths together," she encouraged, inviting each participant to embrace their authenticity. In this moment, Sarah felt a profound sense of purpose. She knew the seeds of change had been sown, nurturing not only her own growth, but also the growth of a community eager to rise together. The current of abundance flowed freely, connecting each heart, thriving in the spirit of collaboration. This was a turning point for Sarah, a reminder that life is a vibrant tapestry woven from the threads of shared dreams, creativity, and support. With gratitude guiding her, she felt ready to embrace the adventure that lay ahead. As she stepped forward into this new chapter, Sarah knew this journey was only beginning, a continuous exploration of connection, creativity, and shared abundance. With every step she took, she embodied the essence of openness, inviting the beautiful flow of life to lead her onward.